We're going to go to Wade Neeley on the Sweet Tea Bakery hotline, and it's good to have him back. But before we do that, we did get an update on the Warren County, Cumberland County score. Cumberland County 41, Warren County 35. So big win for the Jets.
Got that from Jeff Simmons with the Southern Standard, and that will put Warren County in the cellar.
All right.
6 AAA.
Somebody that clinched the second-place berth with their win tonight was Giles County. They got a big win over Marshall County using the backup quarterback. Welcome back to the Friday Night Thunder postgame show, Wade Neeley.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Glad to be back. Official Martin Methodist College duty called for 2 weeks, but much like Giles County, I've made a triumphant return to the airwaves here tonight. Big win tonight for the Bobcat.
Yeah, indeed it was. It was a close first half, and kind of was a little bit sketchy going into the first part of the second half. But Giles County poured it on down the stretch, didn't they?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Giles County working with their backup quarterback, starting quarterback Trevor Holder was out. They held him out as a kind of a preliminary deal there with the lower body injury, kind of an ankle injury. They worked with their backup, Lucas Harrison. He marched them right down the field on a couple of nice drives in the first half. But a lot of props to Marshall County. Their quarterback, Austin Stacy, did a fantastic job, especially in the second quarter. They had a 16-play, 65-plus yard drive that really chewed up a lot of clock. And at halftime, you're sitting there thinking down 8 points that Marshall County is going to make it a game. And then late in the third quarter, Giles County, they went to a new look. They had Kenton Baker, a guy that we know and love, Norman Sundrop Badger. He's normally plying his craft as a wide receiver, but they transitioned him over to quarterback in that Bobcat formation they like to run, and then he had a couple of nice rushing touchdowns to really kind of gain some distance there late in the third and fourth quarters.
Coach Walt Smith comes into a situation where Coach David O'Connor really had a lot of success. Did he feel a lot of pressure coming into the situation there at Giles County, and grade how the people of Giles County feel about how he did in this situation?
I think that's a really interesting question. I think if you ask Walt he's embraced, he's dreamed of a job, and he's even said as much, in the press. He's dreamed of a job like Giles County for a while with the success that they had under David O'Connor. Now he's at a different school, but Walt has embraced the community from day one, and the community may be slightly a little hesitant. Anytime there's change, especially change coming from success, there's going to be some folks that are kind of a little bit resistant, but obviously winning cures all, but you saw it tonight. You're not going to find a classier guy than Walt Smith. He's an absolute fantastic guy to work with, and they had a huge presentation for all the seniors. They involved some teachers to really get kind of the student-athlete perspective on this thing, and then after the game was over, all the alma mater sung and all that, and then after that was all over, they had a special moment where all the seniors gathered with their parents, and they kind of had a walk from end zone to end zone, kind of for one last senior moment there to kind of cherish at Sam Davis. And it was really a cool scene. The whole crowd stuck around and watched that. And you're not going to find a classier guy and a classier coach. I think it's a fantastic fit here for Giles County.
That is a neat sentiment. And the lights stayed on the whole time, right?
Correct. Yeah, the lights stayed on. The music, we had special music that came on. I mean, it was a real neat deal, especially, 20-something seniors, 21-odd seniors. A couple of them, unfortunately didn't have maybe some proper parents there. You had coaches carrying them across. I mean, it was truly a remarkable scene. It was about as classy of a display as I think you'll ever see at a high school level.
Out of all the boring senior night stuff I've seen, sometimes it gets kind of redundant. That sounds pretty cool.
It was cool, especially if you're a Kenny Chesney fan. There was some Kenny Chesney blaring across the speakers.
Boys of Fall, probably.
It was not the Boys of Fall, but it was some other classic tunes, and I mean, it was a fantastic deal, and obviously you get a win over your rival on senior night. It's going to make it that much sweeter. And there were some big seniors that stepped up to make plays tonight. So Kenton Baker, of course, big Marcus Ray on the defensive end, and many others that got in tonight. So it was a fantastic way to cap off a regular season.
Kenton Baker, the Sundrop Badger, a Mr. Football nominee, maybe not a finalist, but definitely a nominee. I do know that.
Certainly. This is a kid that, and it's kind of funny that he was playing quarterback so much tonight. He actually came up as a quarterback as an 8th grader and played a small reps as a 9th grader in mop-up duty as a quarterback. Well, he transitioned over to that wide receiver position his sophomore year, had a great year, and then last year made an all-state run as a junior. And then this season, his numbers obviously down a little bit. Giles County running the ball quite a bit more. in the Walt Smith offense. But Denton Baker, you're not going to find a more terrific young man, from my estimation, at the high school level than him. He is a fantastic kid to work with, and his numbers obviously on the field terrific as well. So, I mean, it was just a cool scene to see him kind of sent off for the final time tonight with 2 rushing touchdowns.
All right. Wade, we appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Absolutely. Hey, enjoy it, guys. Please get some rest. I know it's going to be a wild 24 hours for you guys.
It is. Thanks a lot, Wade. We appreciate it as always.
For Weaver, maybe.
Thanks, boys. We'll talk soon.
Wade Neeley with our partner station down in Pulaski, WKSR. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the scoreboard. This is Friday Night Thunder.